Hello and welcome to the GBHL podcast. You're here with your host GBHL James. And unfortunately James can't be here with me this week, so I've replaced him with GBHL BILBO.
Bilbo Baggins. Bilbo Baggins, get in your bed. I can't miss Speak Friend and Question for 3 weeks in a row. Hell no, hell no. Welcome to Strategy Battle Gamers to another GBHL YouTube channel video. It's me, I'm back.
Back off holiday.
Back off holiday, yeah. Had a great time. I think it's the first time apart from on my honeymoon that I missed 2 Speak Friend and Questions in a row.
Yeah.
And normally, love this show so much, I know you're the same, that even if we don't get together, I really like doing it. Is that sad?
Yeah. It is.
I don't know. You do build a relationship with a lot of the subscribers. That's why we genuinely get sad if you don't comment. That's the whole reason for this loop thing. Genuinely get sad. So really good to be back. I hope you all had a good time on the way. You did one with Mark, didn't you?
Yes, did you?
Just before I went away, and that was very good. And then you did one
solo,
but not modelling this time.
Not modelling, just it was there whilst I was reading off the computer.
Nice close-ups, and the close-up will have. We should have a close-up here today because I think that this is a first in the history of our relationship as friends and co-hosts. Beard.
Less of a beard.
Less. Oh, it will take you about 3 days to catch up.
Yeah.
This is a month of not shaving. I'm pretty far behind. Jane absolutely hates it. This is my.
I was gonna say you're not getting told off yet.
Yeah. I conveniently left my razor when I went to New York because I was thinking, alright, okay, it's getting to that point. You should make sure you shave before you go away. I don't want to be going out with a scruff. And I was like, I'll take my razor with me. Accidentally forgot because you've got to give these things a chance. And then in the airport, I did explain to her that to do this, I needed some support. I needed some support. Didn't I, Bilbo? Needed some support, and that she had to be there for me. And I wasn't intending to be beardy forever. Yeah. But I owe it to my Y chromosome
to give it a chance.
To give it a go. So let me know what you think. Thumbs down or thumbs up. Don't thumbs up or thumbs down the video, depending on my beard. Do it on the content. Okay, so let's get things cracking.
Yeah.
Who have we got first? That's quite far away, isn't it?
Yeah. My toes! Oh God! Right, so Born from the Sun. That's a new name, I think.
Welcome.
It says, "Hi guys, love the content. Just one question. I have recently started getting into this hobby, but as my friends don't really fancy it, I'm having to collect and paint 2 armies, Gondor and Mordor, so I can tempt them into playing. I don't mind doing this, but collecting 2 armies at the same time is insane. P.S. What would you recommend for starting armies for Gondor and Mordor to get people comfortable with the game? Cheers."
It's a very nice question, good question, and well done for supporting your Hobbit.
Yeah.
Round of applause.
Getting 2 armies and get people into it.
Yeah.
So to get the game going, I guess just your basic warriors and military for the orcs of Mordor, really.
Yeah, you wanna set up the kind of cinematic clashes that aren't really about competitiveness. So you don't want to start going for your sort of strength 4
and court and Ran orcs and Blackguard.
Defense 7. You want your strength 3, defense 6 warriors and minister. If you want your bog standard orcs with the spear support and everything, and
maybe a few Moranners in there just so it's 5s to wound rather than 6s.
Yeah, just to mix it up a little bit. But just get a couple of war bands of each and do little demo games, and that's a really good way to go. Yeah. And I think people really like either doing things like Gondor versus Mordor because it's something they remember from the books and the movies, or Rohan versus Isengard's a good one. Yeah. Goblins versus dwarves. Yeah,
Goblins versus dwarves because it feels like a natural pairing.
It does. So if any of you guys out there are struggling to find opponents in your area or maybe play other war games, it's not a bad idea. It's not insane. No. What's insane is having every single army. Bilbo, you're not allowed to get in your bed now. What are you doing? You're going to let you get in your bed now, you naughty boy.
Biting the wires, everyone.
This is why we don't have Bilbo in the videos anymore, because he ruined it. You get in your bed. Get in your bed. You naughty boy. Wait. So, next question.
Next up we've got War.
Wow! He's put whoa, another first to the post.
Well, you're not.
No, you weren't. he must have pipped you. Yeah. Great episode, Mr. G. This week's loop feed. I'm running an event based just after Return of the King. 4th age, I like it. In which an enterprising madman discovers the Door of Night and attempts to bring back Morgoth. Sounds very interesting. Is there any particular event you'd like to play from any part of Middle-earth lore? Assume that there are models terrain available for such an endeavour. As always, much love from the West Coast Hobbits. Well, much love back. Wow, we love having you here. Is there any part of Middle-earth history and lore that you would love that there were models for and be able to play?
Well, there are models for it, but I'd like to do the Battle of the Greenfields.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And do the Hobbits and Orcs.
Yeah, that'd be quite
Golfing
cool.
one.
That'd be quite cool. I think I've probably said it before. I really like the Kinstrife and the Arnorian Civil War and some of the things where things were together and were on the same side and then have been corrupted by evil and fight against each other. So I really like those kind of periods. Arthur Day and Cardolan.
Yeah.
Rudawa, as I've been corrected, and also sort of the story of Castamere, the usurper. And the stewards of Gondor and the like. So yeah, probably those kind of points. Great question, Wah, and that brings us on to another regular. We've got Tom Turtle.
He says, who edited the All-Foot Rohan versus Goblin Town battle report from the Nova? He loved it. That was Mr. Damien.
Especially the sound effects one.
Yes, yeah.
The sound effects, cool, very cool. It's another level, got to keep improving. It's a funny one, wasn't it?
Good, it's very funny. I was watching that on the tram home and I was like, I can't laugh. I can't laugh out loud on the train.
It feels so long ago now as well, doesn't
It
it?
does.
It feels so long ago. It's like from the archives.
Yeah.
From the archives.
I think there's another one still to come as well.
I've got one more. Who filmed it?
I think Damien's got one. I think so.
I like what he's done there.
He left it very late.
But it's nice because then it reminds us of what a wonderful time that we all had.
Yeah.
We had such a good time out there. It was really great. The guys from the DCHL who were running it were just amazing hosts and really looked after us and made us feel very special. So thank you guys. I saw one of their latest battle reports, very good standard as well.
Yeah.
Did you see the board from War Games Terrain with the treasure trove?
I've seen it all be progressed on Facebook. I've not seen the back rep yet though.
Absolutely beautiful. So well done, you guys. Keep up the good work. So next up we've got Mikhail Bohan or Bojan. Thanks for answering my question. I don't want to spam lists here.
Good.
Jamie likes you. But I was wondering about taking Megalus in a Battle of 5 Armies force that doesn't have any other bows. We all know that he's a great hero, but given that my army isn't really set up for standing and shooting, will Legolas have enough time for doing his sniping? I'm not sure. I'm choosing between him with Armoured Dory versus Old Thranduil with Armoured Dwalin. Would love to hear your opinion on that. Keep up the great work. Well, Megalus is pretty fighty.
Yeah, he's got 3 attacks and 5/7, so he can fight a lot.
And if he's with a Mirkwood force which is on foot, he can be moving half and auto-hitting things which are going to give you problems when you hit combat. So auto-hitting
the hero's horses away, you can be
shamans, banners, the usual.
Yeah.
The usuals.
Like Legolas's list.
He's very good. It's the 5/7 Elven Blade.
Yeah. I'm having Orchrist.
Extra attack. Yeah, Orchrist is brilliant.
Do one Goblin King.
So yeah, I think he's pretty good. Choosing between him and Armoured Dory versus Old Thranduil with Armoured Balin. Now that's a more difficult one.
Yeah. I still think Armoured Dory's just as good for having new Legolas and Armoured Dory. It's just as good as, it's really better than Old Thranduil and Armoured Dwalin.
Yeah, it's the combination of them two kind of fighty heroes, even though Dwalin is awesome.
Yeah.
It's the combination of that, whereas Old Thranduil was more of a support hero, isn't he?
Yeah.
And the New Thranduil was great fun. Have you used him yet?
Yes, I did use him. He's good. Although he's terrible, he fluffed his first roll when he was trapped. I was like, okay, well he's dead. Even though he's defense 7, that's fine. Whatever.
Defense 6, isn't it?
Defense 6, yeah. But even so, he still died to a bunch of goblins. I was like, oh.
Oh, yeah.
That's disappointing.
It's that one time, but it is fun. It's nice seeing the nice little Thranduil shaped holes if you can.
You're eating. He's chewing my plants.
What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Naughty.
Are you showing off for the subscribers, Bilbo Baggins? Huh? Are you showing off for the subscribers? We need some more Bilbo related content. It's good to have him in the video. I hope you all enjoy having him here. Okay, so thank you very much for that, Mikhail. Next up we've got Starfox.
So he says, hi there Jamie, I guess I'm James now.
Hello!
I intend to go down to Desolation of Stockport, good man, and thinking of taking a Barlin list. Would it be okay to invert Ori using the Floy staff and book to count as Floy? I think that'd be fine, yeah. Ori's pretty cool looking and fits that, so yes, that would be fine to do.
I don't think that would be a problem at all. As always a good idea.
Just check your TOs.
Check TOs, send the pictures. And good that you're coming to Desolation of Stockport. It is creeping up on us, and people have already started buying tickets, Mr. Gibbon.
They have, yeah. We've got 22 sold so far.
Who sent me a message? Somebody sent me a message asking for me to confirm whether they paid or not. But I said that it's going to your PayPal.
Yeah. Okay.
So I can't remember who it is, but they want it confirmed that you received their funds.
Okay, cool.
So I'm sure we'll do that. But that's coming up very, very soon, guys. Get yourself on that. Desolation.
April 23rd and 24th.
Certainly is. It's going to be a busy month for
Everybody.
for gaming. Yeah, it's going to be pretty crazy. But do try and get yourself down there, guys. Desolation Stockport's always good fun. Definitely a good one to go to. Okay, so next up we've got King Bonizai. Oh no, it was Bonsai, wasn't it? It was Bonsai. It was Bonsai. That's right. I know you guys never get tired of these lists. Brilliant. So here it is. Can you remember when we had the idea for content where people would just send you a list?
Yeah, that was your idea.
That was my idea.
To me.
I thought it'd be hilarious.
I thought it'd be awful.
Because it'd be great. The great Giblin just looking there absolutely,
disgusted and bored.
Disgusted and bored about the fact that he's receiving all of these lists. Well, I think it'd be quite comedic. You going, it's terrible. It's a terrible list. You're not done this. You're not done this.
Yeah.
Go sort it out. You need to do this. You need to do that. Come back to me when you're ready. I think it'd be quite funny.
No, I'm still not for it.
So you've got, here's a 500 point list. First warband is Thrain, the SBG profile.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure you post this every week just to, confuse me.
You have posted it. You posted this twice before.
I think 3 times. I think I've answered this in other lists.
6 rows of airborne shield, 6 rows of airborne with spear and shield. Unless it's like that one slight variation in each one. Probably a good idea to quote it and say, what I've done is I did this or done this from the last list. So you've got Twalian, champion of Erebor there as well, with 5 warriors with shield, 6 with spear and shield, 1 with shield and banner. You can say I could switch out to Twalian for Thorin, Oaken Shield, Orcrist and Bow to fill up the points. Thank you guys, Dubakar.
26 models, 13 to break, 20 to 25%, 6 might, and Thrain will be the general.
Thrain will be the general. It's the SBG platform.
Yeah, well, he's got 3 still, defense 8, 3 attacks. 3 wounds, 3 fate, so he's just as good as Thorin.
Yeah, just as good as Thorin.
I probably would switch out Dwalin for Thorin.
Yeah, if you can't get the points in. You can't get the extra models
Don't take the bow with the Oaken Shield though, because it defeats the point.
Yeah. Yeah, so there you go. Good bit of advice there. I hope we finally helped you sort out your list. Okay, so next up we have Daniel Theory.
He says, I'll be sure to implement those scenarios into our weekly get-together. So last week he asked what scenarios would be good for beginners. There was the really simple ones like sort of Lords of Battle, Reconnoiter, and To the Death.
Yeah.
3. We did play Elves versus Dwarves during the week, and the Dwarves won it handily. A Balin axe to the face for the win. Yeah.
Old Balin is good.
Old Balin is good. Question this week: if you could own any model, regardless of money, what would it be? From the Hobbit's inception until now. Well, Smaug. It's the most expensive.
Yeah, I own Smaug. I'm quite happy with that. But let's twist the question slightly, because obviously owning another Smaug is good because you sell it and you make money.
Yeah.
But let's twist it a little bit. Our model that I'm still after is, I would love to have I know it's a static pose, but I like the fact that it's helmetless. It's got a lot of character. Is the Defenders of Rohan Aemma with the helmet under his arm and.
You see, he's asking from the Hobbit's inception.
Oh, the Hobbit's
inception. So from the Hobbit releases.
I don't have. Thrall. It's one of the most beautiful. I don't actually understand why I don't have it.
Yeah.
Or why I haven't bought it. I think it's because I've tried to have it included in various trades or whatever and not gone through. And in my mind, I always thought that I have one, and I don't have one. I'd love to paint that miniature because there are some great jobs there. Go and check out GBHL Damien's one in one of his hobby vlogs.
Yeah, his Thrall is really nice, isn't it?
Beautiful. There's lots of great. It seems to lend itself to a nice paint job. It's a beautiful model. Pose and everything. It's cool. Very, very cool. Very cool. So thank you very much for that, Daniel Theory. Next up we got King Bonsai again. He's put, and to keep up my tri-question loop, why do so many people prefer to play 40k over Warhammer or The Hobbit? I know it is the sci-fi crowd, but it seems disproportionate. I'm glad that the hobby is growing. That's a good question.
Yeah, I think it's to do with the fact that there's so much there for 40k. It's pushed very hard by Games Workshop in the stores, but you've got so many games that are 40k related that you can convert video gamers into 40k. It's one of those sort of loops where you see people playing it so you know that game gets played, so you buy that game to play it, so then there's more games being played of it.
Yeah. And I think also, I mean, I know that Warhammer had its own IP, and I know that there are things that are in 40k that are definitely not original.
Yeah.
that are definitely not original. But because it's the only expanded universe, I've heard 40k players in the past and YouTubers who play 40k in the past talk about how sometimes, like if they play like Lord of the Rings, for example, it feels a little bit like a historical game. But and I'm guessing with Warhammer, although Warhammer's slightly different and yet it's its own IP, so much of that is clearly parallel with a lot of Tolkien things. You know, remember the sort of Middle Earth is the fantasy sort of genre. A lot of you know, almost created that genre, recreated that genre from, you know, the old folk tales that kind of gone out of fashion for a very, very long period of time. So I think that's part of it, and it's also, there aren't many, because it is more of a mass game. You get to play with lots of models, it's buckets of dice, so it's real good fun, which means you can get people into it young, because it's not incredibly complicated. No,
it's just, this is to hit, this is to wound, this is to save. It's dead. No, it's dead.
Yeah, and I think, you know, the models on the whole are pretty nice. It's relatively original, and you get to do almost a mass battle system, but futuristic with guns, because a lot of the more futuristic stuff's skirmish games. Isn't it?
I think also the fact that you can pretend to, you've got big guns, like guns are attractive to young boys, so.
Yeah.
Like, I remember playing Army Man.
Yeah.
I didn't play Knight. I used to play Army Man as a kid.
Yeah.
And so, like, if you can see something with a big gun, you go, that's cool. I get into that from a young age.
I would love to record playing you at 40k, and you'd have to almost have a mixer for Dead Take Him Off.
Yeah.
Dead Take Him Off. Because I think that's a part of the appeal as well, is that like everything dies.
Everything dies so quick.
You know, you roll a bucket of dice, the bucket saves, and like 20 things die, and I think people like that. And we've often talked about, when we're getting people into Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, we both like sort of talked about it, where, you know, it's
you
quite
want to
good.
play the Defence 3, Defence 4 forces, so things die quick because people like to see death in a weird way.
Yeah, that's why it's quite good doing things like when you're introducing someone to the game, doing the scenarios like Balin's Tomb, where you've got, you know, the Fellowship, the Strength 4 and everything, taking on goblins.
Yeah.
Because it's quite nice for the new person to get to be killing stuff and, you know, doing that.
I feel like they're making headway.
If you need sixes all the time.
Yeah, but if you play goblins, the Fellowship just don't go down very quickly. You've got to really set it up for kills.
Exactly.
Whereas if you're the Fellowship, you'll be killing lots of things. And you feel like you're actually cutting through people.
Yes, I think that's probably why. I am surprised how disproportionate it is, but I think that maybe that genre, sort of the fantasy genre, is more a more dominated market. You know, there are more companies doing fantasy games and stuff as well. So, you know, there are Lord of the Rings players, there are Warhammer players for Games Workshop, and Age of Sigmar now as well, but then there's Kings of War and there's all this, and a lot of the Kickstarters that are coming up now are sort of based on mythology or old time kind of, that kind of fantasy, whereas there's less of the mass shooty combat game that's attractive for kids, and at the same time some adults like it because you can break the game with crazy lists, you know, to be competitive. So I hope that is a nice expanded answer. I have noticed that we've got 24 questions this week, so I'm very good at this. Okay. Next up we've got Callum D.
Callum D says, "Hey guys, thought I'd finally comment for a change."
What do you have to do, Jamie?
You comment now every week.
Because?
We've answered your question.
And therefore?
You're in the loop.
Yay!
For someone who has never played the game before, what size, in terms of points value, force do you think I should begin with? Love the channel, guys. Also, as an edit, any tips for painting white horses? Well, I'll let you answer the white horses bit. And learning the game, I'd say 350 points to begin with, then 500, 600, and then push.
A couple of war bands, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's not a bad way to start. Just think, get a couple of war bands. You know, get the heroes in the game that you like. Just some of the basic troops. You don't need elites or anything, and just start with that. Because then it's quite easy to get up to about 500 points, which I think is what we recommend in the beginner's bat rep.
Yeah.
That's kind of a good place to aim to have a size of an army before you get really committed. But yeah, I think 2 war bands can work about 350, 400 points, that kind of level. So in terms of painting white horses, painting white is tough.
It's tough, yeah.
It is tough. Okay, so it's because painting in white is very different in my opinion, the way that I paint in other colours. So I think you're the same in a lot of ways. So what you tend to do with a colour is, it's interesting, when you get a paint pot out, you're trying to make it so that it looks like that colour. And to do that, there are certain things you need to do. So you put a base colour on, usually. Yeah, thin down, put the base colour on. And then you ink it, which makes the whole thing darker, but it also goes into the recesses. And then you take that colour and you paint over the top, so that then your main surface area, but not the sort of the creases and the deep areas, where the shading is the colour you want it to be. And then sometimes with some colours, to make it that colour, you actually need that the colour ends up being the highlight, or you highlight up with a really out there colour. So you might highlight a red with like an orange or a yellow kind of mixed into it, or you know, those kind of things. Whereas white's very different. You don't paint white on, ink it.
No, never ink white.
No, because it's awful. And
you make that mistake whenever you start painting white. You're like, oh, I'll ink it now. It's like, no. Oh god, it looks awful. It looks just terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible. If you, there will be, if you go into old Rohan battle reports, there will be the original white horses that I painted when I first painted my Rohan. So bear in mind, the models aren't based particularly nicely, and definitely not the kind of level that sort of progressed up to, or trying to progress up to. And you can see that where I've tried inking it with black and painting it and it's just not worked. Or inking it with brown, that's even worse.
Yeah, I've made that mistake. It's like, I've done it with black, it's like, oh, that looks grim, right, paint it again. Right, I'll try it with brown this time, because then I can sort of...
Yeah.
But like, no, looks even worse.
I even tried to do one where I got some water, which that also isn't a good idea. If you're going to make your own wash, you want to use medium.
Lamy and medium, yeah.
Yeah,
but making a white wash, that doesn't work either.
No, making a white wash doesn't work, or even a light grey wash, that doesn't work. So what you do is you actually start off, you paint the horse the colour that you want the shadow, so that you want the shading parts, which tends to be with white. You want that to be a grey colour, and then you highlight up that grey colour so it stays a light grey up until the point where you're doing your final edge highlight and your tips, and it's the tips and the edge highlight that you want to do white and blend that through, because with white it's actually that part of it which makes the whole thing look white. It's not the base colour. It is a weird one. That's just what I've learnt so far. If you want an example of that, you can check out my hobby vlog with the legless, with mounted legless, because that gives a good one. So I hope that helps anybody out there who's looking to learn to paint white. Which brings us on to Mr. Snobler. He's put, damn, I forgot to comment last week. Terrible. I'll make up for this week with 2 questions. Number 1, have you played any Lord of the Rings video games, and what did you think of them? Personally, I really enjoyed Battle for Middle-earth 2 and War in the North, but was very disappointed with Shadow in Mordor. Good one for you, Les.
Yep. I played all the original like journey games, as it were, so Fellowship, Two Towers, Return of the King.
They're good.
They're good, those are very good. Fellowship wasn't fantastic, but Two Towers and Return of the King were very good.
That must be weird if you go back to play them. And
oh god, I couldn't even imagine.
Especially GoldenEye or something now, remember like how amazing that was, you know. Why is it not moving? Why is he not shooting? 10 minutes later, you press the shoot button, 10 minutes later, yeah, we used to think that was amazing. Anyway.
Played Lord of the Rings: The Third Age, which was, I loved that game. It was sort of like Final Fantasy-esque.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it's a turn-based strategy, I attack, you attack, I attack, you attack.
Okay, yeah.
It was very, very fun. And you sort of, you were a...
That level up kind of thing.
Yeah.
Was it your own characters, or was it the Fellowship?
You weren't the Fellowship, you were... The story was pretty... Oh, well, that sounded pretty poor. It was, you were a man, a dwarf and an elf. Original, yeah. And Gandalf had told you to follow the Fellowship. So obviously in the films you never see these characters because they're not real. But they are always sort of like 10 hours behind the Fellowship. They're a second wave, effectively.
Oh, wow.
Which
that wouldn't be good in the Mines of Moria, would it, really?
Well, in the Mines of Moria, when the Fellowship run off, you've caught up by then, you arrive and you actually help Gandalf fight the Balrog.
Oh, that's quite good.
It's quite good fun, and it's really like enjoyable, because you have a different end goal. Yours is to go and sort of battle the wraiths instead of destroying the ring.
That's very cool.
That's good fun. And I've played the games you mentioned there. I played both Battle for Middle-earths. I played the Lego version of Lord of the Rings, which I didn't get through because it's just a bit repetitive.
Yeah, I've got Lego. Jane bought it for me, which I thought was very cute.
They're good fun, just to mess about with for like half an hour, but there's no story to them, really.
Yeah, I think I lasted half an hour, and then I was kind of got a little bit buggy. They're very button bashy. The thing with the Lego
They're
ones,
for kids.
they are for kids. The clips are brilliant.
Yeah, that's what you're playing for. You're playing for the next cutscene.
You're playing for the cutscenes, so if you want to experience that, you just go on YouTube.
Just go on YouTube and watch the cutscenes.
You can go on YouTube and watch them because they're very funny.
Yeah, very good. Lego's got a good sense of humour. And yeah, I played for Shadow of Mordor. Played Shadow of Mordor and the other ones you mentioned.
So he was quite disappointed with Shadow of Mordor. What did you think?
I thought it was good fun. I didn't think of it as a Lord of the Rings game
Really?
particularly. I thought it's a game set with a bit of Lord of the Rings lore in it. Like the same name and things, yeah, just set in Middle Earth. Like Athelas was in there as your healing herb and just small things like that. Next up, we've got Neighbour of... Oh, he's got a question too?
He's got a question too, and just figuring out, the only Lord of the Rings games that I've played have been Lego and also Total War.
The mod.
The Third Age Total War mod, which, if anybody knows how to... Because it's all changed now, you can get the medieval Total War and Kingdoms is all on the Mac now, which was always a bit of an issue. So I bought them ages ago when I had Steam on my Dell, and then could never play them on my Mac. Not good for games. It's now available on the Mac, which means that I should be able to get Third Age on there. And there are tons of guides out there. I've downloaded Wineskin or something like that. I've got no idea what that is, but I honestly have got no idea how to do Third Age to get it on. So if somebody wants to make a YouTube video on how to add any mod to a Mac, that would be great because you can't open the installer. So, but that was brilliant.
The little game I played was Lord of the Rings Online, which was pretty awful. And
was it awful?
Yeah, I did not enjoy that. But I was playing solo, no one else played, so I think that's a game you want to play with friends.
Yeah, okay.
And also a mod for Civilization 5, which I love to play, introducing a load of Middle-earth races.
Yeah.
It's cool.
That's cool. Okay, and he's got another question.
Number 2, in the past couple of years, I've mainly painted 40k models, and I've never really needed to paint wood, whereas many of the Lord of the Rings models have wood on them, and I'm having to paint it. What paints do you guys use to paint wood, and how do you do it? I've tried a bit, but I don't like the way it's turned out.
What do you do?
I just throw some brown on, ink it brown.
That's what I used to do. I used to just do like a thing or something like that.
A little bit of a highlight of a different lighter brown, is it?
I'd always just try and make sure that the browns that I was using for different things, so like if I was doing leather, that keep that separate from what the wood colour is and what the boots are. Or
so you've got wooden boots.
Exactly. That's what I used to do, and then our channel sponsor, Shadow and Flame, Kevin Lawrence, who is Shadow, who's an incredible painter. In my journey to try and get better with painting, I really looked at some of the models that he sent across to me in the past, and it was the model of Eowyn with a throwing spear. I was just looking, and it was when I was painting the Three Hunters when I was ill. It's like, what are all the things in his model, apart from sort of general techniques, that takes it to the next level? Even though that's more of his basic standard as well. I've seen the stuff that he puts together for Golden Demons and things, and it's just incredible. But and looking at it and going, right, okay, so what's he doing? One of the things is his wood technique, and the wood technique that he uses is he will paint the shaft Mornfang brown. So Mornfang brown. Then he'll ink that Agrax Earthshade.
Yep.
And then he will get Steel Legion Drab, which I think used to be Graveyard Earth. And he will paint very, very faint wiggly lines that don't touch each other, quite close together going down the shaft. Yeah. So you can't make them too wiggly or look stupid, which I've done on some of the Vindel Knight ones, and you can't make them too straight, otherwise it doesn't necessarily look like wood. You've got to sort of go down and get a couple of little bits in there like there's knots. Yeah. It requires patience and a good hand, but then you also water down a final Agrax Earthshade ink, really thin it down and put that over it on the end just to blend it together again. Yeah. And that is now the technique I use to paint wood. So I hope that helps, some in-depth stuff there. Yeah. So next up we have got Neighbour of the Beast 667. Has he commented before?
I don't think so.
Not heard that one before. Welcome to Speak for Any Question, my man. When I've won an attack with a spear support, does the spear support get to strike as well as the warrior? Thanks.
Yes.
Certainly does. certainly does. So that's a nice easy one. So I'll go on to the next question, which is Mikkel. He's put, "Hi again, thank you so much for your answer last week. Here comes my question for this week. What happens when a miniature with an elven cloak stands in front of another miniature? Is the miniature behind a legal target for bowfire? If yes, how will the in the way test be resolved? Best regard, Mikkel J." So it's not, wasn't it?
Wait, sorry.
So you've got a model.
Yeah, what happens when a miniature with an elven cloak stands in front? Oh yeah, so yeah, you sort of get past the in the way, the elven cloak. Like
You got to roll as normal.
You got to roll as normal, yeah.
Yeah, you got to roll as normal.
Yeah, so it's a way of overcoming the elven cloak by shooting something behind it.
Yeah. You got to be really careful when you got an elven cloak. You don't do that.
Yeah.
You don't put models that can be hit behind. Which is some of the issues sometimes with some of the bow armed troops have got like elven cloaks, and you want them to be spear supported sometimes by things, and obviously that's not great. So I hope that helps, matey. Next up, it's John McConnell.
John McConnell says, "What do you think of adding shields and/or weapons to temporarily adjust models' armaments with blue tack? So a sling made from string or a paper strip or some other approach. This seems to be a better approach than having to permanently modify a figure for a single army list. No, don't do it. It'll make your models look awful if you use paper or something like just a bit of string, like a sling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially with like white or blue tack.
Yeah.
We're very much against that.
Yeah, we're not really fans of people blue tacking things. Do you know what, I can understand that.
I can understand doing a shield. Because shield's a legitimate thing that you pay for in the game that you might want one game for your list and might not for the next.
And it conceals it as well. So I think shields is one good example, but I think for other weapons and things, I think there's a good idea to.
It's interesting because like spears on models that are bow armed.
That's interesting.
Like I've seen people who've blue tacked it. I think there's a way to do it. There's a way to blue tack things that will hold it in place, and you try your best to conceal it. And I have to against some people who've just gone ripped off a bit, stuck it on the model, and stuck a toothpick on the back.
Yeah, that's like painting. It's not getting at any particular individuals, but doing things like painting a toothpick like silver, or sometimes even not, and just like in a big bit of blue tack on and putting it on.
I've played against players who've not painted it at all and just blue tacked it with a big blob of blue tack on the back. It's like it doesn't look like a model with a spear. It looks like a model with a big toothpick stuck to its back.
Yeah.
So I think as long as you make the effort to make it look like you're doing what you want to do for things that you can pay to improve in the game, like spears, shields, even bows to some extent for troops that might not usually have them, who are armed with something else. But when you start sticking weapons on that are for an in-game benefit, like axes with a big blob of blue tack, it just opens up a bit of an iffy thing. That, like, let's say you see next game in a tournament, for example, you're playing against dwarves, you're like, well, I'll keep these axes on. You play against wood elves next game, or I'll take those axes off and use my swords that are on the models. It just opens up that sort of really meta game in it.
And we don't want that. We don't want that. Good answer there from the Giblin, and I completely agree with you, my friend. Next up, we've got San. It's Centigrade. He's coming to Desolation.
Indeed he is.
Has he played?
I think so.
Can't wait to have a beer with you, my man.
He's definitely coming.
It's been a long time, not seen you for 2 years.
Bringing us Haradrim.
2 years, oh nice. Great video as always. Concerning hobbits, how many shurists would you get? We'll start off with that bit. How many shurists would you get for hobbits?
Warband. They're awesome. Although I guess technically you should only have, how many is it in the lore?
Oh,
they have a specific, you can only have this many, well, in the lore there are X amount of sheriffs.
I know that you want to say it.
Trivia section.
I'll do it.
Nah, I'm not going to.
Trivia section! Somebody go and find out for us because we want to know and we will not look it up ourselves.
Ian Spiller knows this, and I know he does because he plays with the correct amount. I can't even think what his army contains.
Saw Ian Spiller's non-metallic metal attempt today.
Yeah.
You are so talented.
He's coming along there.
You are going to be an incredible I mean, you already are doing a great job and you've won
Best
painted a few times, you know. But you're going to a nice other level, so keep going, my friend. So yeah, if somebody could give us that answer, that would be great. The next part was also, which named hobbits would you use? Are the scouring of the Shire hobbits on ponies good?
Yeah, they're very good. They're stupidly good.
Oh yeah.
Pippin and Merry and Sam are your top three. Then Paladin. And then Banderbus.
Yeah. Frodo last.
Frodo is the last thing you want to take.
He's terrible.
He's just awful.
He's terrible.
Can't kill anything.
Okay, so next up is Matsy, LOTBR,
Yeah.
our friend from America. Hello.
He says, Jamie, did you say ArdaCon or something? Where is that, whatever it is? I'll let you take this one.
I think he must. There can only be one thing that he's referring to, and that's going to be the world's largest ever gathering of artists, which is happening in Manchester. ArdaCon. No, you are of course referring to ArdaCon. ArdaCon, SBG International, which is happening in Manchester, and already started releasing some leaks. People are so impatient.
Teasers.
Yeah, they are. Well, they are teasers, but I'm also just being honest about what's going on, and keeping everybody up to date. I know that people want news right now about certain things, but it's a big gamble. It costs a lot of money. These hold like a lot of money, especially the option that we've ended up going for, and that's purely based on the space, which is why I've kind of said, right, okay, we'll do this number of tickets, and let's see if we can hit that and go for a price for that, because I think that we can definitely sell 120. Like definitely. So that's what the ticket prices will be worked out of. So keep an eye out if you're not already on the ArdaCon Facebook event page. Get yourself onto the Great British Hobbit League page first of all, and then go and check out the events tab, and you've got all of the events for the whole Great British Hobbit League on there, and ArdaCon will be in there for October the 21st to the 23rd, at which we are doing a World Team Championships as well as a doubles event. Obviously this grand tournament, there's a fun event on the Sunday evening, and there's going to be tons going on. There's going to be lots of hobby things going on, and demos, and just really want it to be a celebration of everything that we, together, you guys...
The collective we.
Yeah, the collective we. All of the TOs out there can really just celebrate all of the progress that we've all made together by supporting this hobby the last couple of years, because as a team we've clearly done a good job. So it gives all of the TOs an opportunity to come up and showcase what they've done, and get people to come to their events the following year and see all the great painting and all the talented people that come and get involved in this. So that's what we're aiming for it to be, and it's shaping up to be incredibly exciting. I have to say I'm a little bit nervous. I'm a little bit nervous because...
If tickets go on sale and no one buys, you go, no!
Well, they will do. But if that did happen, which has to be somewhere at the back of my mind, it would ruin me. And I'm not joking. So yeah, come and support the event. It's going to be incredible. So next up we have the Commander Kaiser. He's put, I'm doing well, keeping in the loop so far, good work. My question this week is, how do you manage to keep motivated and on top of your projects? I think my issue at the moment is I have so many, I flip from one to the other, meaning nothing ever gets done to completion. It's a typical problem. I'm determined to actually get one army fully completed and tournament ready by the end of May. Well, I think you've got a really good technique.
Just
Doing things dead quick.
paint it fast, don't get distracted.
Don't go to sleep. And just, because that's what you do, isn't it?
Just do it in one. No, but at the moment I actually have done that. I've got half of Thorin's company painted up. I've got some stuff painted or being built for battle companies, which is just sat there on my desk, staring at me. And this is
for your Patreon.
Patreon one, yeah.
Make sure you go and check out Jamie's Patreon for extra battle company content and other perks.
Yep. But the issue with that Patreon build is that it's been sat there half complete for so long. I'm now nervous to go back to it, and I've picked it up and I've looked at it, I've planned where things are going to go, and then I'm scared now to continue because I wasn't in that mindset I was when I was building it.
Yeah.
And so I don't really know what my plan was when I was building. Like, the next bit I'll do is this bit. I'm just kind of going into it blind again.
It is a hard thing if you get part way through some models and then for whatever reason you move on to other things, and usually that comes up because of tournaments.
Yeah, tournaments. Well, for us, I had to rush paint a 10 Fountain Court Guard for Middle SWS Warband.
Yeah. And
so doing that, I got them painted, got some other stuff painted for Middle SWS Warband, and then sort of all my projects have now gone out the window because I had to get them done. I was like, oh God, I can't remember what I was doing.
It's so easy done as well. It's so easy done.
And things like I've picked up models for other bits from Guildball and from other systems, and now they're all just sort of sat around me. And I bought a load of X-Wing and they were pre-painted, so I was like, I'll play with them because they're pre-painted.
It's very easily done, and it's a very common problem. You're not on your own.
Yeah.
I think something that I personally try and avoid doing is just doing either that, half-finished projects, because like I said, it is you were in the zone to paint those Saga or those that, and they've been sat there with just a chainmail painting for so long, you're not in that mindset anymore because you've been painting cloaks, you've been painting this, you've been painting that. I think rewarding, not just painting loads and loads and loads of troops, or having to paint dismounts for things that, like horses, that can be demotivating. Rewarding yourself with a nice hero, which you just paint that hero, is a good way to stay motivated, I find. And also we've got additional reasons to be motivated. Setting deadlines to go to tournaments is usually a good one.
Tournaments are fantastic for it because it's like I have to get this painted by this date.
Yeah, that's how my Rohan got painted.
Yeah.
Because I actually left the hobby for a little. I mean, I wasn't in it for a long time.
Yeah.
I actually left the hobby for a little while because I got demotivated because I was trying to just get through painting all of the Rohan. By the time I'd finished doing the mounted Rohan, I just really...
You look at those foot ones and you go, oh, I might not even use these.
Well, I think initially I was a very naughty boy, and I don't think I even painted my dismounts, or like they were... Well, I can't remember. I hadn't been in the hobby for very long, I was pretty new. But yeah, so rewarding yourself with heroes I think is a good thing, and giving yourself deadlines like a tournament, or like we do, we've got certain content that we want to film, so we'll be like, right, well, you need to get this painted for this, so that can be a good thing. Very, very, very good question, the Commander Kaiser, thank you for being in the loop. Next up it is Saruman the White.
Is it me or you?
I think so.
Oh, it's me, okay. It says, Jamie, that was pathetic.
Means I get the list next.
Oh, good, cheers, thanks.
I can.
I guess you misinterpreted the quiz. It was meant for you to answer.
I did ask you some questions and you
answer
these questions with questions.
I don't know, I might have just gone, I can't be bothered. do you go back?
Was it a classic? Was it a proper Jamie speech?
It might have, yeah, it was 30 minutes. But
nice!
Do you want to go back to the last episode, see if we can get the questions? We can both try and answer them.
Okay.
Because I did this with Mark as well, like he tried to answer those Aussie slang questions.
Oh yeah.
I think it's another one of those style ones. Oh no, not this one. It would have been this one. Yeah, it would have been this one. Yeah, the last one.
Oh, did you just pass them on to Mark?
No. Oh, in this one, I got him to answer them because we were recording the previous one.
That's right.
So yeah, just Control F, Saruman.
Control F, Saruman.
Control F, and then or whatever.
Or Command F. Yeah.
And if you just search Saruman, and scroll. If you click next on it, then you can just scroll to anything with Saruman in.
Whoa, this is incredible.
Just keep going. Yeah, and highlight the one you want to go to that one.
Okay, and then I just click the X there. Oh, it's not going to shoot me up, is it?
No.
Really? Wow, Jamie's just taught me some technology stuff. Okay.
Oh, okay, right, yeah. Okay. These are the questions. So question 1, what is the age that an average Australian can obtain their kangaroo licence? Why are you laughing? It's a real thing.
Is it really?
Yeah, well, kangaroo hunting licence.
Oh, a kangaroo hunting licence.
That's what I found when I googled.
I'm going to say 12.
Okay. Platypuses look like a mix of which two animals?
A duck and a beaver.
Oh, beaver. I think I said otter because I think that's salt on the line.
Yeah, but that's not a bad shout.
Yeah. A koala's diet consists mainly of
eucalyptus and eucalyptus tree bark. I don't know.
Australia is home to the most amount of species of which animal?
Venomous spider.
Yeah, I think I said things that want to kill you.
Yes.
And then spider was my real answer. I can't say that. Let's move from here. Enchilada, a mammal, true or false?
Sounds like a Mexican food. Enchilada.
Enchiladas. It's echidna, isn't it?
Echidna. False. It sounds like a spider.
I know that one because I googled it because I've never heard of this thing. So I wanted to know. It is a mammal, but it's one of the very few that lay eggs as a mammal.
Does that not just discount it from being a mammal?
No, apparently it's a mammal. It's one of the very rare egg-laying mammals.
Australia is weird. Have you ever seen a kangaroo when it's been born and what happens?
No.
Search. God, kids might not be a good idea to do this. Search.
So it's not safe for life.
It's just it's weird. Life in Australia is quite weird. Like life generally. a kangaroo giving birth, what happens when it's giving birth? Effectively, it gives birth to the fetus.
Oh, okay.
And then the fetus crawls up.
Back in?
No, it crawls out.
Into the pouch?
Up and into the pouch and develops in the pouch.
Oh, weird.
It's weird. If you watch this, I seen it on a David Attenborough once, and you always start like eating your tea, and you go, "Oh my goodness gracious me! Why is one born every minute on?" I did not want to see that. I did not want to see that. There's not for me to see. I'm going to be stood here, and you're going to be facing that way. You know, you know what I mean? So anyway, great questions. Do you know the answers? All of them.
No.
Has he got the answers here? Let's
No,
see.
I don't. It's not how it works. He didn't give us the answers.
What? Right, we want the answers next time.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah.
So assuming James is back, how was your trip?
New York City was amazing. I would highly recommend it to everybody. You'll all love it. It's diverse, full of culture, and just so much going on, as well as the fact that you're seeing things that you remember seeing on TV and in movies growing up and books. And I mean, when you first see the skyline of New York City, as you drive, like we went on a coach from the airport, we were at Newark in New Jersey, and you see Manhattan, and it looks like it's a painted on set. These high buildings and everything, and then going up them's incredible. The 9/11 Memorial Museum is just amazing and incredibly moving and touching and done so well. I would recommend that to anybody. I didn't talk for 3.5 hours. It was so good. It was amazing. Great food, great people. Love New York. If you're from New York, I don't know what people are talking about when they said it. You're not nice people. You're lovely people. Just like when people talk about London and people in London not being in London. It's just they're busy and getting on with their lives. But if you ask them for help, they're really helpful. Anyway, so that's what New York was like.
Just finally, although I talked to James about this, but it's good to let the community know. Do you guys have a PO box? We don't, have we? Maybe we should. Maybe we get some free stuff in there.
We said that, but I was like, I don't think that we receive enough things as a team to warrant having a PO box.
Or maybe if we had a PO box, people would.
I like what you're going with.
Yeah,
I appeal for things all the time.
If we had a PO box, you say, if you want to send us some free stuff, and then when we get loads of stuff, we could do one big unboxing episode.
You have to pay for a PO box.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how much it costs. If anybody knows the answer to that, let me know. But what I've always said to people in the past is that, like,
just contact us.
Well, not just that. I mean, some of us might be a little bit wary sometimes of giving away your private address, although you don't tend to be with trades and things. So, but what I tend to do is I just give the gym address because the gym's open all the time, and I never have to go and collect mail otherwise. I mean, there's no point in anything being sent here because if you've got to go to the post office to collect it, it's a pain in the bum, isn't it? Yeah. So yeah, I mean, if you're ever not going to be in for anything, get it sent to the gym because there's someone always in there, and I don't want giving away the gym address. You can just type in Biotic Gym and find the address and send us anything, although if you send it to Damien Tom it might take a while to get some from me.
You should definitely get a PO box.
So anyway.
Then he says Smaug, who is a dragon, which is a lizard, which can only be one thing. Lizard boy!
I love it. I love it that you've made it a thing. And welcome to Twitter as well. He tweets Hotgates Gaming a lot, which is really cool. Great feedback. Love it. Which leaves me with the final question. 21 questions this week. Not a lot. We want you back this next week. If you have not been loop sustaining, get on it. I'm pretty sure you got loads of painting done to this. We've rambled on loads. Specifically me. As usual. Hi GBHL team. I have a list that is in need of help. It's 750 points, fiefdom themed. Imrahil leads 6 knights mounted. It's good. Angbor, Forlong, and an old Dole Amroth captain are my warband leaders. And my 3 warbands will be the same. 4 clansmen, 4 axemen, and 4 times question mark. I have 4 times question mark, and I have 107 points.
So he's going to ask.
Ah, okay. So I have 107 points to either take 11 men at arms, 11 Dole Amroth knights on foot, or 12 Blackroot Vale. Do I take bows, pikes, or the shields off the knights? Sorry for the long message. No problem at all.
Shields of the knights. I go with shields. Like your axemen will back them up, and you have your clansmen to skirmish around the flanks. That gives you a defence 6 troop, which you don't have currently. It means you miss out on bows, but you're just going to set up on the 12-inch line anyway.
Yeah, I think looking at that, I mean, clansmen, axemen, The thing is, because pikes can't support spears, you can't have men-at-arms supporting axemen and Lossenark and then have a front rank of clansmen, say, which you used to would have been able to, wouldn't you? So, because you're not having like a pike block, it might not be worth getting the pikemen.
I think your Glamroth, because they count as being arranged with a banner for Imrahil, and everyone else has got their benefits with their respective people. So yeah, I think and the men-at-arms of the foot knights. Yeah,
foot knights definitely. So that brings us towards the end of this week's edition of Speak Fan Question. Great to be back. Thanks for having me, or me having you.
Yeah,
and Bilbo ended up behaving.
Is he asleep or is he just sat
He's asleep. He's worn out after seeing Mr. Giblin. So I'm sure that we'll be back together next week. We're about to go and film
the long-awaited Mordor Sourcebook review.
Ooh, which I'm sure a lot will be. We've already talked about this, but we are getting it done. So guys, don't forget to comment, like, share and subscribe.
Support your Hobbit host by clicking the links below.
Make sure that you like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter.
And support your Hobbit hobby.
And happy strategy battle gaming.